Hey everyone, welcome back to Powerful Stoic Habits. Have you ever felt like someone is trying to wear you down, treating you like you're disposable and just a puppet for them to manipulate? It might seem like no matter how hard you try to get their attention, your efforts are ignored, leaving you feeling like you're just a plaything for their amusement. Perhaps your partner recently left you, making you question your own value and whether you were ever more than just a convenience. But what if you could turn things around completely? Imagine becoming so resilient and strong that their actions no longer affect you. What if you could defy their attempts to break you and demonstrate that no matter what they do, you remain unshaken? Imagine this. Rather than letting someone's behavior break you down, you could turn the situation around and make them regret ever underestimating you. Sounds amazing, right? Well, today's video is all about how to not just endure their behavior, but to completely shift the narrative, leaving them with nothing but regret and a newfound respect for you. Picture this. You're in a relationship where someone you care about starts distancing themselves, testing your limits to see how much you can endure before you crack. Or perhaps you're trying to win someone's affection, but no matter how hard you try, they keep you at arm's length, making you doubt your own value. Maybe your partner has already left, leaving you to deal with the aftermath and question if you were ever truly appreciated. But what if, instead of reacting or falling apart, you stayed composed and strong? What if your calm resilience made them realize they've misjudged you and that you're far more formidable than they ever expected? When people underestimate you and try to hurt or ignore you, staying calm and resolute can lead them to regret their actions. By remaining composed and steadfast, you not only shield yourself, but also demonstrate your true strength and resilience, leaving them wishing they had never taken you for granted. As Bob Marley wisely said, "You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice." This isn't just a saying, it's a reality that becomes clear when you're pushed to your limits. Whether you've been overlooked, undervalued, or left to pick up the pieces, it's in these tough moments that your genuine strength emerges. By standing firm when it's your only option, you reveal just how powerful you can be. Today, we'll harness that strength to turn every challenge into a reason for them to regret ever doubting you. Now, let's focus on today's affirmation. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and repeat after me. I am unbreakable. Let this affirmation be a reminder that no matter who tries to bring you down, you will rise even stronger. You're not just getting by, you're thriving even in tough times. Remember, you're not here to be controlled or diminished. You're here to take charge of your own life. It's crucial to proclaim this with confidence, and sharing it in the comments is a powerful way to do so. By making this declaration, you're showing the world and yourself that you're ready to stand strong no matter what challenges arise. Your inner strength is your armor, and nothing can break through it. So, go ahead and leave a comment to make your voice heard. Before we get into the effective Stoic techniques for turning the tables and making them regret underestimating you, we need to cover a fundamental principle that's absolutely essential. Everything we discuss will be based on this key concept, so I need your full attention. This principle is the foundation of every strategy we'll explore, and without it, you won't be able to fully tap into your true potential. Let's dive into it. Consider this. When you're trying to attract someone, it's completely normal to feel anxious, eager to make a good impression, and perhaps even a bit nervous about their response. In these moments, it's easy to act impulsively or out of desperation. However, mastering self-control can set you apart in a remarkable way. When you remain calm, confident, and composed, you communicate a powerful message. You're not just another person trying to gain their attention. You're someone who understands their own value and isn't swayed by fleeting emotion. Picture having the ability to stay collected, not reacting to every chance to impress, but instead demonstrating restraint and allowing your presence to make the impact. This kind of self-control makes you compelling because it shows that you're in command of yourself, which is highly attractive. So, as we proceed, remember this. Self-control is your foundation. It's what will make others view you differently and is the first step in shifting the dynamics in your favor. Let's explore how this principle works in practice. In this video, we'll delve into mastering the art of self-control through 9 Stoic strategies that will make you truly unbreakable. These aren't just ordinary tips. They're essential for turning the situation around and making yourself so resilient and composed that others will eventually find themselves pursuing you. Ready to take charge and shift the dynamics? Let's get started with the first strategy: controlling your reaction. One of the most vital aspects of becoming unbreakable is learning to manage your responses. This might seem straightforward, but it's a game changer. By mastering the art of controlling how you react, you not only safeguard your inner tranquility, but also showcase your true value. People will begin to see that you're not easily disturbed, which is incredibly powerful. Imagine this. You're in a relationship that's been turbulent lately. Your partner has been distancing themselves, and each ignored call or display of aloofness chips away at you. You might feel the urge to react emotionally, but by maintaining control over your responses, you protect your inner peace and demonstrate your strength. When you're faced with someone who's distancing themselves and you feel the urge to confront them for answers, reacting out of desperation can backfire. It might only push them further away and, in their eyes, justify their behavior by showing that you're losing control. But what if you approached it differently? Instead of reacting impulsively, imagine taking a step back, remaining calm, and focusing on your own well-being. By managing your reactions in these situations, you send a strong message. You're not easily shaken. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By choosing not to react emotionally, you demonstrate that you value yourself enough not to be influenced by their action. When they see you maintaining your composure and not falling apart, they'll begin to question why. They'll recognize your strength and start to appreciate your true value. Now let's consider another scenario. Perhaps you're trying to impress someone new who hasn't yet seen your worth. You're eager to make a good impression, but things aren't unfolding as you hoped. When someone isn't responding to your texts as quickly as you'd like or seems indifferent, easy to feel frustrated or start doubting yourself. However, this is where mastering your reactions becomes crucial. Instead of sending multiple messages or overanalyzing every interaction, stay calm and confident. Don't let their lack of response determine your self-worth. Think of it like playing a game of chess. Every move you make should be strategic, not impulsive. By staying composed, you're not just reacting to their action, you're executing your own plan. Controlling your reactions demonstrates that you're not just another person seeking their attention, someone who understands their own value and isn't desperate for validation. Now honestly, who wouldn't find that intriguing? Now, consider another situation. Dealing with an ex who left you and is causing you emotional pain. You might still be reeling from the rejection, and seeing them again feels like a gut punch. You might feel compelled to reach out and make them understand the impact of their action. But when faced with a situation where you've made a mistake, it's crucial to manage your reactions carefully. Reaching out in a moment of weakness can reinforce their decision to leave, as it shows that you're still impacted and vulnerable. However, if you remain composed and demonstrate that you're moving on with grace, it can shift their perception of you. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. By controlling your reactions, you're not just protecting yourself, you're taking the high road. You're showing your ex that you refuse to be defined by how they treated you, which is a powerful statement. Over time, they may come to realize that leaving you was their loss, not yours. Let's be honest though, controlling your reactions isn't always easy. There will be times when you feel like you're about to break, and the pressure feels overwhelming. Whether the person you care about is pushing you away or not reciprocating your feelings, it can be tempting to react with frustration, anger, or sadness. But remember, your reaction is where your power lies. It's the one aspect you can control, even when everything else feels chaotic. So how do you stay unbreakable in these challenging moments? When facing challenging situations, start by taking a deep breath. Before you react, give yourself a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself whether your response will be beneficial or detrimental. Often, this brief pause can make a significant difference, allowing you to choose your reaction rather than being controlled by your emotions. If you struggle with managing your reactions, especially under pressure, consider practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness keeps you anchored in the present, making it easier to control your emotion. Simple techniques like concentrating on your breath or performing a quick mental check-in can help you remain calm when you feel overwhelmed. Over time, these practices will become second nature, enabling you to handle difficult situations with greater poise and assurance. Here's a helpful affirmation to keep you grounded. I am. Whenever you sense your emotions starting to take charge, remind yourself of this. You possess the strength to stay calm and composed, regardless of what happens. This isn't about suppressing your feelings, but about directing them in a way that benefits you rather than undermines you. Let's conclude with some inspiration. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." When you manage your reactions, you're not just demonstrating bravery, you're liberating yourself from emotional chaos. You show the world that you're resilient and unshakable in the face of challenges. As others witness this, they will begin to recognize your true value. They will see that you are not just seeking their approval, but are confident in your own worth. So embrace this principle, master your reactions, and observe how people start to perceive you in a new light. In time, people will begin to see your strength and resilience, and they will be drawn to you, recognizing the unbreakable nature of who you are. It's your moment to take charge and demonstrate your true capabilities. If you have any questions or thoughts on your mind, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments so we can explore them together. We're here to support each other in growing stronger. Everything has been clear up to this point. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Before you consider moving on, let's address that idea right now. We've only scratched the surface with this one strategy. It's powerful, but it alone won't transform your relationships or life. The next 8 strategies are equally important, and applying each one is essential to unlocking your full potential. So stay with me, remain steadfast, and let's explore this further. Now, let's move on to our next key strategy, controlling the narrative. While it might sound a bit abstract, mastering this skill is crucial for reclaiming your power and making others regret underestimating you. So, what exactly does it mean to control the narrative? In simple terms, it's about managing how you present yourself and your story, both to yourself and to others. It involves shaping how people perceive you instead of allowing them to define you on their terms. When you control the narrative, you choose which aspects of your life and personality to highlight and frame your experiences in a way that boosts your empowerment rather than diminishing it. For instance, if you've been in a relationship where your partner didn't appreciate you and possibly took you for granted, they may have created a narrative where you're always available, accommodating, and perhaps too eager to please. What if you changed that narrative? Imagine if, instead of always striving to make things work, you began to tell a different story, one where you're seen as strong and self-assured. A confident person who recognizes their own worth isn't afraid to walk away from situations where they're not appreciated. Here's the key. People believe the narrative you present. If you behave like someone who can be easily pushed around, that's how others will perceive you. However, if you start portraying yourself as someone who is in control, knows their value, and won't settle for less than they deserve, that's the story people will begin to accept. And trust me, once others see that you're no longer conforming to the role they've imposed on you, they'll start to regret not valuing you when they had the chance. Let's consider a real-life example. Imagine you've just ended a relationship where your ex portrayed you as needy and always chasing after them. Now, you have 2 options. You can either accept this narrative and continue feeling inadequate, or you can take control and redefine yourself. By focusing on your personal growth and happiness, and by presenting yourself as someone who is thriving, despite them, your ex will not only be surprised, but will also start regretting not recognizing your worth sooner. They'll come to understand that the version of you they overlooked was actually someone remarkable. Being underestimated actually demonstrates how strong and independent you truly are. Controlling the narrative doesn't mean you're pretending to be someone you're not. It's about highlighting the aspects of yourself that reflect your genuine strength and resilience. It's about rewriting your story in a way that empowers you, rather than letting others dictate it for you. Think of it as being the author of your own life. Why allow anyone else to control your narrative? As the saying goes, perception is reality. By controlling the narrative, you shape how others perceive you, which can influence how they treat you. But it's not just about how others see you, it's also about your self-perception. When you start framing your story around strength, confidence, and self-worth, you begin to internalize these qualities. You start believing in your own power, and this belief makes you truly unbreakable. So, how do you begin to control the narrative in your own life? Start by stepping back and examining the stories you've been telling yourself. Are the narratives others hold about you empowering or hindering your growth? If they're not benefiting you, it's time to change them. Focus on your strengths, accomplishments, and the ways you've overcome challenges. Highlight these aspects of yourself to others and observe how their view of you shifts. If adjusting the narrative seems challenging, start with small steps. Begin by altering how you discuss yourself in daily conversations. Instead of downplaying your achievements or apologizing for your strengths, embrace and confidently articulate them. Over time, this will become natural, and you'll notice a shift in how people perceive you. Here's the twist. When you control your own narrative, you make others see you as indispensable. They'll start to regret not appreciating you sooner because they'll realize their previous perception of you was mistaken. They'll understand that you're not just someone who's there for their convenience, but a person who recognizes their own worth and isn't afraid to demonstrate it. To conclude, let's reflect on the Stoic philosopher Seneca's wisdom. It is not the man who has little. It's not the person who has little, but the one who constantly seeks more, who is truly poor. When you take charge of your own narrative, you stop depending on external validation and start finding it within yourself. This shift leads to a wealth of confidence, self-worth, and resilience, key components of being genuinely unbreakable. So, take the reins of your narrative, rewrite your story to empower yourself, and demonstrate your true value. And remember to affirm this transformation by saying, I write my own story. Make this declaration boldly and let me know you're on board by dropping a comment. Show them what they've been missing. And let's move forward to the next strategy. Now, let's explore our third powerful strategy, delaying gratification. Delaying gratification means resisting the urge to seek immediate pleasure or validation. It's about holding off on the impulse to satisfy your desires right away, whether that's why and pro. Instead of immediately acting on your impulses to text someone the moment they come to mind, or settling for less just to fill a temporary void, focus on the bigger picture. Prioritize your long-term happiness, personal growth, and self-respect. By mastering this approach, you're not just playing for immediate gains, you're setting yourself up for enduring fulfillment and demonstrating that you know your worth and are willing to wait what you truly deserve. For example, if you're interested in someone and feel the strong urge to constantly reach out or make yourself available, consider taking a step back instead. Allow them to experience a bit of uncertainty and miss your presence. By not immediately chasing after them, you create an aura of mystery and intrigue. This distance makes them think more about you and wonder why you're not pursuing them like everyone else. This space helps them recognize the value of your time and attention. Or long, they'll be the ones reaching out, eager to connect with you. Delaying gratification isn't just about playing hard to get. It's about demonstrating that you're in control of your desires and not driven by the need for instant satisfaction. This kind of self-control is highly appealing because it reflects maturity, patience, and confidence. It shows that you're not desperate for their attention, you have a fulfilling life of your own, and that you're focused on long-term success rather than short-term gain. Now let's explore how delaying gratification contributes to your resilience. When you master the ability to wait, you're less affected by temporary setbacks or disappointment. You're not easily discouraged when things don't go your way right away because you understand the most valuable things in life are worth waiting for. This mindset fosters resilience, making you less susceptible to fleeting emotions or impulses. You become someone who remains steady and unshaken. This is the essence of being truly unbreakable. However, let's be honest, delaying gratification isn't always straightforward. It can be tough to hold back when all you want is immediate reward. When you're eager to be close to someone or want to see immediate results from your efforts, it can be challenging to delay gratification. To make it easier, start by keeping the bigger picture in mind. Each time you feel the urge for instant satisfaction, ask yourself whether it will benefit you in the long term or help you reach your goals. If the answer is no, then waiting becomes worthwhile. Another strategy is to redirect that energy into something constructive. Instead of sending that impulsive text or making a hasty decision, focus on personal growth. Engage in a productive activity, such as working on a project, hitting the gym, or learning something new. By investing in your own development rather than succumbing to immediate temptations, you build yourself up. The advantage of delaying gratification is that it shows others you're not easily swayed, and that you value quality over quick fixes. This makes you more respected and desirable, as they see you as someone who is committed for the long term and knows their own worth. Ultimately, this makes you stand out and increases their interest in you. As we conclude, keep in mind the wisdom of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly." This wisdom teaches us that the finest achievements take time and that patience and perseverance are essential for attaining true greatness. So, embrace the power of delaying gratification. Let it fortify your resolve and reveal your true value to others, showing them that you're someone worth waiting for, ready to play the long game and emerge victorious. As we approach the midpoint of today's video, we're about to explore strategies that are even more critical. You've already made a wise choice by staying with me so far, so why not continue? Stay engaged, my Stoic friends, because the best is yet to come. Now let's delve into our next powerful strategy, being selectively available. You might be wondering what this means, so let me explain. Being selectively available involves managing your time and energy wisely, deciding who has access to you and when. Being selectively available is about ensuring that your presence is seen as a privilege rather than something that's taken for granted. Imagine always being there for someone, answering every call, replying to every text, and fulfilling every request as if you were a 24/7 convenience store, always open and ready to assist. The issue with being too available is that people may begin to take you for granted, assuming you'll always be there, which can diminish your value in their eyes. It's human nature to undervalue what is always within reach. But what if you change that dynamic? What if you made yourself less accessible, a bit more mysterious, and harder to reach? When something becomes less readily available, often becomes more desirable. The same principle applies to you. By not being constantly available, you signal that your time is valuable and that you're actively engaged in a fulfilling life, rather than just waiting for their call. This shift can alter how others perceive you, enhancing your value and desirability. Being less available can make others start to realize just how much they miss you. When you're not always accessible, they begin to crave your presence and seek out moments with you, knowing that their availability isn't a given. As the saying goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. This timeless truth highlights that by being selectively available, you're not playing games. You're simply valuing yourself and your time. You demonstrate that you're not just someone waiting in the background, but a person with your own life, goals, and ambition. And let's face it, who wouldn't find that attractive? However, being selectively available doesn't mean vanishing or ignoring people to make a statement. It's about finding a balance, knowing when to engage and when to step back. For instance, if you always reply to texts immediately, try taking a bit longer before responding. If you're the one always setting up plans, let them take the initiative sometime. This approach isn't about being hard to get. It's about showing that you lead a full life and aren't solely focused on them. I understand your concern. What if they get upset or think you're not interested? Here's where the strategy works its magic. By stepping back slightly, they begin to notice the change and become curious. That curiosity often leads them to reach out and pursue you as they start to recognize your value. You're no longer the one scrambling to keep things together. Instead, you're allowing them to come to you, realizing your worth in the process. Think of it like this. Imagine yourself as a cat. Cats excel at being selectively available. They might be all over you one moment and then completely aloof the next. What happens? We end up chasing them, eager to win their attention. Why? Because they've made their attention seem special and rare. You can adopt a similar approach by being an intriguing presence that isn't always readily available, but is consistently valued. To incorporate this into your life, start by shifting your mindset. Recognize that your time is valuable and that not everyone should have constant access to it. Begin by setting boundaries. If you're busy, don't feel pressured to respond immediately. Rather than dropping everything to respond to someone, concentrate on your own priorities and let them see that you value your own time and energy. If pulling back feels challenging, especially if you're used to always being available, it might be tough initially. But keep in mind, you're not doing this to play games or manipulate. You're doing it to protect your energy and demonstrate that you recognize your own worth. Over time, as you adjust to this new approach, you'll start to notice the positive effects. People will begin to pursue you more, understanding that your time and attention are not to be taken for granted. To conclude, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thought. When you view yourself as someone of value who deserves respect, actions will naturally align with this self-perception. By being selectively available, you're teaching others to appreciate your time and presence. And they'll come to realize just how much they miss having you around. So folks, embrace this strategy of being selectively available and watch how others start to pursue you, recognizing your worth like never before. Get ready to show them what they've been missing. Now let's explore another powerful yet often overlooked tactic. Mastering the art of silence. You might be asking how something as simple as silence can make you unbreakable and reveal your true value to others. Well, silence is more than just a lack of words. It's a statement in itself. When used effectively, it commands respect, draws attention, and piques curiosity. Imagine a situation where someone is trying to provoke you. Maybe it's a partner pushing your buttons, an ex trying to get under your skin, or someone you're interested in testing your reactions. Your instinct might be to respond, defend yourself, or fill the silence with words. But what if you chose to remain silent instead? By letting the silence speak for you, power dynamic shifts. They're left wondering about your thoughts and the meaning behind your silence, and they start to see that you're not easily shaken. As the saying goes, silence is golden, and this rings especially true in relationships. Silence can be a powerful way to showcase your true value. By not rushing to fill every pause with words, you allow space for reflection. They start to question why you're not reacting, why you're not pursuing them, or defending yourself. This makes them realize that you're not someone who can be easily manipulated or taken for granted. Silence also introduces an element of mystery. When you're not constantly available or overly communicative, you create intrigue. They become more interested in you, eager to understand what's going on in your mind. This curiosity can drive them to pursue you, recognizing that they don't have you completely figured out. It's a subtle yet effective way to demonstrate that you're a person of depth, someone who doesn't act on impulse but rather considers their responses carefully. Let's be clear, mastering the art of silence doesn't mean shutting down or giving someone the silent treatment out of malice. It's about discerning when to speak and when to remain quiet. By choosing your words with intention and making sure that when you do speak, your words have significance, you encourage others to listen more attentively, understanding that what you say is important. So, how can you begin to incorporate silence into your interaction? Start by resisting the urge to immediately respond when someone says something provocative. Take a moment to breathe and let the silence linger. This pause not only gives you a chance to think about your response, but also signals that you're not easily provoked. Over time, you'll find that this practice helps you remain more composed and in control, enhancing your confidence and self-assurance. Do you find it difficult to remain silent, especially when emotions are high? Start by practicing in less intense situations. For example, in casual conversations where you might typically respond quickly, get comfortable with holding back. As you get more accustomed to this approach, you can gradually apply it to more significant interactions. Remember, silence is a tool to be used to your benefit, not as a weapon against others. To wrap things up, consider the wisdom of the Stoic philosopher Zeno of Citium. Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. In other words, it's often wiser to hold your tongue rather than risk saying something you might regret. Choosing to stay silent and keeping your composure is often better than speaking impulsively and regretting it later. Mastering the art of silence demonstrates that you're not just someone who reacts quickly. Rather, you're someone who carefully considers their words and is comfortable letting others speak while you maintain control. So embrace the power of silence. Let it be a crucial part of your strategy for becoming unbreakable and helping others recognize your true value. Ready to let your silence make a statement? Let's move on. Next up, let's discuss a vital element in becoming unbreakable: setting and maintaining boundaries. Boundaries are not just about saying no to things you don't want. They define who you are and what you stand for. By establishing clear boundaries, you convey that you know your worth and are not willing to accept anything less than you deserve. Imagine being in a relationship where your partner starts to push your limits, perhaps by demanding excessive time, disregarding your values, or being disrespectful. Without boundaries, your kindness can easily be taken advantage of. You might find yourself going above and beyond to keep others satisfied, eventually losing sight of your own needs. But imagine if you established clear limits, clearly stating what you need and what you won't tolerate. Suddenly, you're not someone who can be easily manipulated. You're a person who demands respect. Setting boundaries isn't just about self-protection. It's about asserting your value and making others recognize your true worth. When you adhere to your boundaries, you show that you respect yourself and expect the same from others. As they see you're not willing to accept less, they'll begin to view you differently. They'll realize you're not easily influenced, but someone who stands firm and understands their own value, and that's highly attractive. So, set those boundaries and stick to them. Show that you're not afraid to stand up for yourself, and watch as others start to respect you more. Pursue someone who refuses to settle for anything less than what they truly deserve. Ready to assert your value? Let's continue. Now let's explore a key strategy for becoming unbreakable, focusing on your own personal growth. It's easy to get sidetracked by trying to impress others or regain their attention. Here's the reality. The more you invest in yourself, clearer your true worth comes to them. By dedicating time to your own development, whether it's advancing your career, enhancing your health, or acquiring new skills, you're not just improving your own life, you're making a strong statement. You're demonstrating that you value yourself and aren't waiting for anyone else to validate or define your worth. This level of self-assurance is incredibly attractive. When they see you flourishing and evolving into a better version of yourself, they'll start to regret not appreciating you when they had the chance. They'll realize that you're not just a part of their past. You're someone who's continually growing, improving, and becoming increasingly impressive. Imagine you're investing time in your fitness, exploring new hobbies, or advancing in your career. Suddenly, you're not just the person they used to know. You're someone they can't help but notice in a fresh, new light. Your personal growth makes you stand out, and believe me, it'll make them reconsider any past underestimations. Let's reinforce this together. I am committed to my growth. Say it with confidence, because your dedication to self-improvement is what will make you unbreakable. As you continue to evolve, not only will you recognize your own value, but others will too, leading them to realize just how much they missed out on. Ready to keep evolving? Let's move on. Now let's explore a strategy that might seem straightforward but is incredibly impactful. Using affirmation. Affirmations aren't just phrases you repeat to yourself. They are powerful statements of your inner strength and worth. When applied effectively, affirmations can transform your mindset, making you truly unbreakable and helping others recognize your true value. Imagine beginning your day with affirmations that set the tone for your success and resilience. Begin your day with a strong affirmation like, "I deserve respect and admiration." Repeating this regularly helps you internalize the belief, and that inner conviction will start to shine outward. It's not just about reciting these words, it's about truly embodying them. When you firmly believe in your own value, you naturally project confidence, and confidence attracts others. Consider this. If you enter a room with the conviction of your own worth, others will start to perceive you in the same light. They'll see you as someone who commands respect and isn't easily dismissed, recognizing you as a person of strength and resilience, someone they can't afford to ignore. To integrate affirmations into your life, select a few that resonate with you. Statements that represent the person you aspire to be. Repeat these affirmations daily, particularly in times of self-doubt. Let these affirmations become a regular part of your thought process, continuously reinforcing your sense of self-worth and strength. As you persist in affirming your value, you'll notice a transformation, not only in your self-perception, but also in how others perceive you. They will start to acknowledge and appreciate your true worth. Find them more intrigued by you than ever before. Remember, the true power of affirmations is not just in the words themselves, but in the belief and confidence they foster. Embrace affirmations and let them steer you towards becoming truly unbreakable. Number 9. Avoid emotional outbursts. Now, let's discuss something crucial for shaping how others view you. Avoiding emotional outbursts. We've all experienced it. Someone hits a nerve, says something hurtful, and before you know it, you're reacting in a way you later regret. But here's the reality. Letting your emotions run wild not only makes you vulnerable, but also hands control over to others. When you react impulsively, you're essentially showing them that they can influence your emotions. Picture this. You're in a tense conversation with someone you care about, maybe even in a situation where your emotions are running high. When someone you're trying to impress or win back makes a hurtful remark to provoke you, instead of reacting, you maintain your calm and composure. You respond with thoughtfulness, refusing to let their words dictate your response. What happens next? They see your strength and ability to rise above the situation, and suddenly you appear unbreakable. They begin to recognize your true worth, realizing that you're not easily unsettled. Avoiding emotional outbursts is about retaining your power. It demonstrates that you're not merely reacting to circumstances, but mastering them. By staying cool, you not only protect yourself, but also shift how others perceive you. They'll start to respect and admire your composure, and as a result, become more interested in you, seeing that you control your emotions and, by extension, your life. Let's affirm this. I am in control of my emotion. Let this affirmation guide you whenever you feel the urge to react impulsively. Stay strong, composed, and watch as others come to appreciate your true strength and value. To sum up, becoming unbreakable starts with you. By managing your reactions, being selectively available, controlling your narrative, and harnessing the power of affirmations, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're proving to the world, and to anyone who doubted you, you're stronger than they ever imagined. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your favorite affirmation. Let's keep growing together, and remember, you are unbreakable. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.